Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. And this is our week in review. And going to be a very interesting episode, guys, because I don't think we're going to talk about Raw or SmackDown at all because they were the go home shows before King and Queen of the Ring. So really, I think we'll just very quickly touch on those results, maybe talk about NXT a little bit. And so yeah, I mean, let's not bury the lead. All hail King Gunther.
Or
He will
as
be
Corey Graves, I believe it was, referred to him after he won, the King General.
Yeah. Oh, you know what, Corey? You know what? You are insufferable 99% of the time. With Kiana James, welcome in this one moment in your life to the 1%. That is amazing. I am so excited that Gunther will be going to SummerSlam to challenge for the world title. I think that's going to be amazing. And yeah, I hope he wins. I really hope he wins. I love how WWE has treated Gunther. I did watch the finish because somebody embedded it in a tweet. Um, could have been maybe a bit better, but I don't know if they're planning to do a bigger match down the road. How do you feel about King Gunther?
I'm very excited for sure. This feels like it was inevitable. It's some Thanos shit. He was inevitable. And I'm happy for him. I'm happy that they made the right call, in my opinion. And SummerSlam is about to pop the fuck off.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm telling you, this really feels like main roster, like Brock Lesnar to me. Honestly, I know it's been interesting actually hearing about Brock because I mean, obviously he got entangled in the Vince controversy, seems pretty shitty. But then there are other people that are like, oh, he might be coming back soon because some of the stuff has unfortunately died down. And really, at this point, I'm like, who needs him? At most I would want to trot him out just for him to formally pass the torch to Gunther at this point. But yeah, I love it because this is the exact same path Lesnar went on. He won the 2002 King of the Ring, I believe, beating Van Dam in the finals at the time. Then he went on SummerSlam, beat The Rock for the undisputed championship. And so I don't know who Gunther will be facing for the world title at SummerSlam. Uh, it'd be amazing. Again, you and I were even talking about some possibilities because I could finally clue people in on this because we're here. I was all resigned. I'm like, oh man, Orton's probably winning King of the Ring because they want to do Orton Cody at SummerSlam, and that really sucks. Like, fuck. And then you had mentioned that, SummerSlam is so far away because I think I had said something of, they wouldn't want to do Gunther Priest. And you said, well, it's not really even guaranteed Priest would be the champion because SummerSlam's in August and we're still in May. And we were talking about, like possible championship matches. And I know you brought up it could have been potentially Gunther versus Drew, which they had a match for the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam last year, which was really good. And Gunther won that match. So already you have kind of a foundation there if that's the match you wanted to do. Yeah, I'm just really loving this. I'm really happy for him. Again, I don't know if they'll want to do some kind of a rematch between Gunther and Orton because the finish was a bit screwy. But oh yeah, actually, I even told you that No DQ, the one dirt sheet site that I frequently go to, that he apparently addressed the quote unquote controversial finish. So let's see what he said. He said, quote, so I was out there. From my vantage point, it was very difficult to see. Was in the ring, handed the crown to Gunther. Very happy for him. Incredible night. What a performance they both put on. Coming back here, I saw exactly what you saw. I saw what everybody saw. I saw what everybody was talking about. Didn't really even seem controversial to me. It just seemed like Randy Orton's shoulder wasn't down. But I'm going to say this: the referee's decision is final. Gunther is your king of the ring. That being said, especially after what I saw tonight, I certainly want to see that again. I think Randy Orton deserves to have another shot at that. I think if I know anything about Gunther, he will want to have another shot at that. To take the controversy out, to take the asterisk off the page where it says King of the Ring for him. I think he will want to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he is better than Randy Orton. I think having seen Randy back here, he's pretty banged up, both his knee and his back. I think it's going to be a moment or two before he's ready to step back into the ring with Gunther. But when he is, let's go. And if that's really how they're gonna play it, running it back so that Gunther can definitively beat Orton, which I would hope they would do. And honestly, I have faith in WWE in this case. WWE really hasn't given me personally a reason to not believe that they wouldn't do right by Gunther. Between the Intercontinental title reign, granted, I didn't really care how he lost it, but in WWE's eyes, Sammy, I think is like one of the top baby faces in the company. And now this tournament, like, yeah, I could see him beating Orton more definitively. So great end of the King of the Ring. I got what I wanted. So stoked for SummerSlam, and really the idea that Gunther may be like one of the two headliners, because obviously I'm assuming Cody will main event SummerSlam, but hopefully Gunther's higher up on that card. That's a big deal for him. Really cool. And then you get Queen of the Ring, where Nia just wins. And I really don't have much to say, but I'm just hoping that it's Nia Bailey and Bailey just retains. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I actually wasn't ready to move on yet from the Gunther discussion.
Oh well, please, by all means. I'm more than willing to talk about King Gunther for the whole show, honestly. So,
Yeah,
what are
well,
your
so
thoughts?
mostly just because I wanted to kind of discuss potential Money in the Bank winners because I think it would be absolutely hilarious if Drew McIntyre beat Damian Priest at Clash in the Castle, only to be cashed in on immediately again.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, that
Actually, no,
would
you know
really
what?
be
That
something.
can't possibly happen because Money in the Bank takes place after Clash.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still, it would be pretty hilarious if Drew got cashed in on again. If Drew beat Damian and instead of having like a 5 minute reign, he had like a month reign or like a month and a half long reign and got cashed in on again.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, it would just fit so perfectly for his character.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because
you
we do
know,
know
so
now
just
it has been made official that Drew is challenging. He's been cleared to wrestle, and he is challenging Priest for the world title at Clash, which is in Glasgow,
yeah.
Scotland.
Yeah. Man, Priest has done better than I thought he would with the world title, but I really hope Drew wins. Really, really do. Um,
My mom asked
so
why I'm hating on Drew. To be clear, I'm not hating on Drew. Specifically, I just want Drew to be made as miserable as possible as a heel so that he can finally break and turn face again because I don't want him to be a heel. I want him to be a face. I want him to win a world title as a face so that people can cheer for him. Like that's really what it comes down to.
yeah, that's been your goal from the jump.
Yeah, literally
Um,
since the first teases that Drew was going to turn heel, I've been like, I hate this. I don't want this. The point is for Drew to get cheered by the crowd, not for him to get booed by them when he wins the title.
exactly. Oh wow, Superior Paul is here. Well, this commentary just got a lot thirstier. Hey,
That's actually
Paul.
a great point too by Javaris. He said, I'm fully expecting Felonius to hoe our boy Zeus. That's a great point too. Yeah, Fildred's probably going to stop DM Hunk from winning the title at Clash.
But doesn't that go back to the complaint that we've had the last couple of years of like, why would you do that when then Punk could position himself to do a big marquee match? Well, actually, no, he can't because Gunther's King of
Dude,
the Ring.
dude,
Yeah.
dude. Holy shit. Can you imagine if Punk wins Money in the Bank?
Oh my God.
That's too perfect. I'm calling it. I think I might have even made that prediction already. You know what? I'm calling it. CM Punk is winning Money in the Bank for the third time this year. He's going to be the first ever three-time Money in the Bank winner. He's going to win it this year. He's going to cash in on Drew and take the title from him.
Dear God.
Wait, wait,
Dear
wait, wait,
God.
wait. It's better. It's better. It's better. I'm making it better. He's going to wait until after Drew retains against Gunther.
Oh, I hate that even more because I want Gunther to win the title. Fuck. Wow. Go to your room. Uh, Because see, no, like man, I don't know.
Here's my thing. I also want Gunther to retain, but like maybe it's one of those like Sethington moves where he cashes in during the match and pins Drew, and then Gunther's pissy about it.
He should be pissy about it. This is supposed to be my one-on-one title match, you fuck.
I
Um,
know. I just feel like there has to be some involvement in with Punk in that thing, in that whole thing.
yeah. Yeah. No, you're right, because to me, well, see, because I look at Punk Drew, I do look at that as a SummerSlam match with how they've been antagonizing each other.
Yeah.
You know? So like how do we get there? And yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. I'm only having a visceral reaction because I see how plausible everything you're saying is. So yeah, like fuck. Uh
It's weird though
so
because like I don't know. I think a question that I kind of had in my mind before we went live was if Gunther does win the world title in August, who beats him for that?
Yeah, I maybe Jay, because again, you even mentioned when we were having kind of our discussion, just like in general, away from the TwitWoW space, that you have the story of Jay hasn't beaten Gunther. Gunther is now 2-0 against Jey Uso.
Has it been
So
shenanigans every time, or was the more recent one clean?
I feel like the more recent one was clear. Although, you know what, though, and I know this is kind of Super Blues defense, that referee was stunned. I feel like Gunther would have kicked out of the splash regardless. I'm more sided with you in that argument, but I think in WWE's mind, oh, the referee was stunned. So there's never been like a perfectly clean, no problems, no anything type
Right.
match between Jay and Gunther.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. So yeah, I would say Jay personally if Gunther wins the world title. Just have Jay finally beat him and beat him when the stakes are highest.
You think Mania next year?
Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that. I don't know if I like agree with it rationally, but my feels are all about it. Like absolutely. Um yeah. Yeah, I gotta say, given that Seth carried the world title for so long, and you're always kind of wondering who the next champion's gonna be and what the feel of the title is gonna be after your big champion, Damien, I think, is doing again better than I thought he would. And I really think with all these players in play, that world title scene's getting ready to really heat up. Which
Yeah,
thank God, because you already know I do not give a shit about Cody as undisputed champion.
I want to
So
just interject here real quick. I want everyone to know, and John, this includes you. It is storming pretty bad outside here where I am, and we actually already had a very brief, like 30-second power outage earlier. So I just want to let everyone know that if we were to go off the air, everything's fine. I probably just lost power, and we will attempt to go back on the air as soon as possible, but that might not end up being immediately. It might end up being within, it might literally just be during collision, honestly, because this
yeah.
storm is supposed to be at its absolute worst for the next half hour. And then it's supposed to be fine until like 8. And then it's supposed to be pretty bad from like 8 to 9. And then it's supposed to be fine for the rest of the night. So if we end up having to do this between like 9 and 11 when we go live again, that's fine with me if it's fine with you. But I just wanted to let everyone know it'd be better if we just got it done. But like, in
Yeah.
case shit happens and we lose power, I just want to make sure that everyone is aware that that might happen because we do have a storm going on right now.
Absolutely, brother. Like you and I even said before going live, I really didn't even think we'd be here that long.
Yeah.
So, with
I
that
just
said,
am
I
really
really, yeah,
excited about the. I have a lot of passion for possibility regarding who Gunther's SummerSlam opponent could be, because
yeah,
I'm hoping that it is Drew. I'm hoping we get a really good, clean one-on-one match. But even then, Drew's. I mean, we've talked about this plenty of times, and you've or even like went out of your way to emphasize how much you love that I said this in the first place. Drew's character is so fun to write for because it's so comedic because he is just so good on the mic and such a good character to play with. And like him having a perpetual feud with the Money in the Bank contract and the fact that that is literally the next pay per view after Clash is hilarious.
yeah. I mean, dude, he might really be getting ready to be fucked with creatively.
Dude, do you know what would
And
be
and in the back of
amazing?
my mind, I'm just thinking like he's getting paid. That's all I got to
Yeah,
care about is he's getting
dude,
paid.
it
But
would be
goddamn,
incredible if he tried to enter the Money in the Bank ladder match to prevent anyone else from winning it to beat him.
dude, yes.
Dude, he wins the world title at Clash, and then Money in the Bank qualifiers start up, and he beats the fuck out of some rando, like I don't know, maybe Ricochet or something, and he tries to take his place in the briefcase match to try and win the briefcase for himself. Fuck all y'all, it's mine. You're not cashing it on me again, god damn it. And then Gunther just beats him clean, but he still has the contract. Holy shit! Holy
Oh
shit!
my
I actually like that story. What the fuck?
god. Yeah. That is absolutely insane, and that's the kind of unhinged Drew McIntyre I want on my television.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Paul.
1000%.
Paul, superior Paul in chat with a really, really well worded statement. Drew is a comedic heel, but he is not a joke.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, I think we can
1000%.
move on now. I feel I'm satisfied with that. Now we can move on to
I'm
Naya
yeah, yeah, and Nia, I've
Bailey.
really yeah. Um, wow. You know, you figured they'd have to give her something because she did lose to Rhea at Chamber. And, she did put Liv over as like her last act on Raw. So you figure like this is a way for Nia to get some of her heat back. So honestly, looking at it more holistically, it makes sense, even if I don't care for Nia personally. Plus, and let me just be an adult and say this. I really like Lyra. Her and Io fucking cooked on Monday, but she did just get to the main roster. There's plenty of time to do things with her. So they really don't have to rush her being in the main event spots with like Becky or whoever. You can let Nia have this. And
Yeah.
really, I'll say it, I do think Bailey will remain the champion um going into SummerSlam. At most, I could see, and I told you this before we went live, Jade Cargill winning the title, and then you do Jade versus Nia because you have not necessarily a story, but the moment where Jade eliminated Nia when Nia was dominating the women's Rumble, and Nia, we could say,
Well,
has just been feeling some type of way
I
about that
mean,
ever since.
dude,
So,
they literally just had a semifinal match in King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring.
well, no, oh yeah, that's true. And then that was when,
The count out
yeah, the
or the
DQ,
DQ, the
like it's
DQ,
just
the
yeah.
chair.
And we already know that Nia also beat Bianca, so I
Yeah.
don't know if that would tie into anything. And she beat her with the match with a lot of psychology, seemingly. Like just working over Bianca's leg and then trying the KOD, and she collapsed under the weight of it all. Um, and so yeah, like I'm not like I don't like it because I don't like Nia, but really looking at
Right.
everything holistically, this was probably the right call because I want Lyra to breathe a little bit before she's like getting into that championship picture. Plus, Liv won the title apparently. Since we're talking about Queen of the Ring, we're talking about the women. Liv did win the title. Thanks, thanks to Dominic Mysterio unintentionally. No, it wasn't
What?
intentional. We
Wait,
all
why
know
was
that.
Dom even out there for that match?
Because I guess he wanted to get revenge on. Well, the whole story was before they know that Liv and Dom are colluding, that because Liv has been assigned the responsibility for like injuring Rhea, they're looking at her as being like the one who took her out, then wanting to get revenge on behalf of his mommy or whatever. And
And
now
he
Liv's
ended
won
up
the title.
helping her win
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
after there was footage of her walking out of his locker room.
yeah, Dom, you really didn't think this one through.
Bro, oh my god.
Apparently, Liv
This
has also been seen with Finn in the background, so Liv might
this
be looking to be the
is
new mommy of Judgment Day. And
oh my
wow, like
god. So scandalous.
Rhea, you're watching the product, right? Like, especially, see, here's the one thing, and I don't mean to nitpick, but like, here's the one thing that's funny to me. I'm not even mad about it, but it's just hilarious to me. Storylines like this in the age of social media, people see everything.
Yeah.
And like, cause I only knew about the moment of Dom or like Liv, I guess, walking out of Dom's locker room, I guess. Because somebody on Twitter like captured the video of it and posted it. Now, I also know how Twitter works. We've been on there for years. So many people probably added Rhea with that video.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you doing, Dom? She sees everything. This isn't like the 90s anymore where you could plausibly do an angle like this and you can make it seem like the other person wasn't aware for whatever reason. But, bruh, internet, like, get on it. What are you doing? So, yeah, like, I see, and this brings up a bigger point for me. I don't I worry about the writing of the Rhea character when she comes back because to me, like I'm sorry, and maybe I'm just thinking too much, and I think that's something we've both been guilty of in the past is thinking too much about our wrestling. But like I would think that she would be written very poorly for me if she would come back and be shocked by all this. Like I would want her to know, like, oh, what you don't know that she could even say in her Aussie accent, like you don't know that the internet's a thing or whatever, and like make that a joke, and then they're just all kind
I
of
mean,
have their
she
heads
doesn't even
down and
have
like,
to
oh
acknowledge the
crap.
internet. She could literally just say, like, do you think that I don't watch Monday Night Raw? Do you think that I haven't
Exactly. Yeah.
seen you, creeping around with Liv in the background when people are being interviewed? Do you think that I don't notice this stuff? You think I
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
keep an eye out for my Dom Dom on the TV show? Do you think I don't watch your segments and everyone else's segments? Come on. I'm not
Yeah.
stupid. I'm not unobservant. She won't say that word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And like I'm telling you, when Rhea comes back, and I know we're still a ways off from that, she's gonna be the top babyface, not only in that division, she might be one of the top babyfaces in the company.
Yeah.
Like this woman's following is insane. And I say all of this to say that if you do this right, which again, I am liking WWE under Triple H for sure. Still have my issues, but I'm feeling more positive today. We don't need to dwell into that. But I think the big money moment is her hitting a riptide on Dom, like just in the middle of the ring to a loud fucking pop. And so I want us to build to that. with Dom just really being smug and like almost braggadocious that like, yeah, I pulled both Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, like fucking Rizmaster Dom over here. It's that prison allure. And yeah, just Rhea just emasculates him, hits the Riptide, which I do think Dom, his selling is one of his like better qualities. Like I really that clicked for me in his match with Gunther because my God, like I thought he died after those chops. So I'm sure he'd sell the Riptide like $1 million. Um, and so yeah, we're deepening that story. But all of this to say that, now that Liv is champion, Lyra already has her in if they want to test her in a championship environment because, Liv kind of, punched her, smacked her like last Monday. So yeah, Lyra didn't need this. There's plenty of time for her to have the big match moments and everything else. I mean, she beat Io on Monday, which I think is a huge fucking deal.
Though they also
Personally,
just
give
cooked. Apparently, they popped a pretty nice rating too.
absolutely, which should mean a lot for both Io and Lyra. And speaking of Io personally, because she's on Raw, I don't know where she fits now with Liv as world champion because I have no idea how long that reign's gonna go. But God, honestly, bro, because there's still time. I I really hope that Io, just because of her performances, organically turns face, and we do live Io at SummerSlam. Why the fuck not? Like I'm not taking that off the table. I know Damage Control has been kind of antagonizing Becky, but it would be interesting to me, and I think you could get away with it if you wrote it well. Is like Dakota and pretty much like the rest of Damage Control were more heelish, but Io was kind of the standout babyface. And you could even have segments where like they're getting ready to come out with Io, and she's like, "Guys, I love you, but I got to do this on my own." So like she really stands out while still being part of the group. I'm personally, I don't know how you guys feel in chat. I'm probably reaching, but I would not mind at all Io Live for SummerSlam. I think you can sell that. So yeah, the Raw side's definitely interesting. Let me just ask you, man, what do you think about the Raw side for SummerSlam, seeing as how a Raw woman did not win Queen of the Ring?
I'm
And
hoping Rhea's back in time and we can just do Rhea Live.
you think she would be. Interesting. Because I thought she'd be out a while. Like I was even thinking like late 2024, but I hope you're right. I really hope you're right.
Do you remember what
Uh
her injury was?
no, not exactly. I thought it was something like, was it elbow related or was it was shoulder
It was
related, wasn't
shoulder
it?
related, but I saw that she had an estimated recovery timeline of 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So I can't imagine she wouldn't be back in time to be able to do the SummerSlam match. Hell, she might even be able to do a match as early as like Money in the Bank, honestly.
Bro, if it was only supposed to be 4 to 6 weeks, I'm sorry, but I kind of feel a certain way that they just stripped her of the title then. Like, I know that's like a lot of time, but I do wonder if you just could have gotten away with it. I don't know. Yeah, because she was having such a monster run. Um, but yeah, but then follow-up question for you, just to really make it crystal clear and put it in stark terms. Do you have any opinion about who the women's champion will be for Naya's SummerSlam championship match? Do you think it'll just be Bailey as like the
I
underdog
do
babyface?
think it'll just be Bailey, but I honestly, unfortunately, and I hate this, but I'm actually leaning towards it being more likely that Nia wins there and gets cashed in on.
Interesting. Interesting.
The thing is, women's Money in the Bank almost never lasts very long, and so it would not surprise me if whoever won the women's Money in the Bank just cashed in night of. Um,
Yeah.
if it would be Tiffany, and then we could get Tiffany Nia, but it would be heel versus heel. That would be weird. Maybe it
It
could be
would be, but
Jade.
Tiffany, I think, is still getting babyface reactions. So that is a heel
That's
versus heel
true.
you might be able to get away with.
That is true. Yeah, that's like the one little bit of leniency that you're right about for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I could imagine them doing the Tiffany Nia thing if they wanted to put Money in the Bank on. Basically, it's interesting because by doing King Queen of the Ring now and then having the winner get their shot at SummerSlam, but having Money in the Bank be in between those, it basically gives them the ability to choose their SummerSlam main event out of their entire field. Like if they wanted their SummerSlam main event, as far as like the men's side go, if they wanted it to be Gunther Orton 2, they could just put Money in the Bank on Orton and they could do it.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
wanted their women's main event to be Nia Jade, they could put Money in the Bank on Jade and they could do it. Like it gives them a lot of control. And honestly, it's fucking genius on their part, but it makes it a lot harder to predict for us too.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
Definitely.
it makes the prediction game a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Hmm. So yeah, interesting tournament winners here, but I really don't have anything else to say about that for now.
No.
Is there anything else you want to say about either tournament winner?
I will say, not regarding a tournament winner since that was your prompt, and I just wanted to kind of correct course. But I
Okay.
am a little bit like the fact that Liv won here already tells me that Rhea is going to be ready sooner than later. I feel like if Rhea would have taken longer to recover, it would have been more likely that they would have like held off on putting the title on Liv. That's just my hunch.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair actually. Yeah, that's fair. I can totally see why you'd say
Do you
that.
remember when Rhea vacated? Like what the date was? Like when?
Oh
Because I
God,
feel like it
wasn't
was
it?
right after Mania, wasn't it? Or was it after Backlash? Did she
Yeah, it was
defend on
it
Backlash?
was early April. I feel like, bro. It was
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah, so I think she might even be able to challenge Liv at Clash. Honestly,
That would be cool. I mean, you're talking Drew Priest at Clash and then Liv Rhea.
yeah,
That yeah, very interesting.
yeah.
Very interesting. Um, you know what's funny about a Liv Rhea feud? If they're able to do it soon, is I wouldn't even want it to end at Clash End. Like, I feel like you've got a 3-match program at the very least here. Because I hope that and I feel like we haven't been in the era for a while where you just do matches to fucking death. Like, I remember when we
Yeah.
were doing 2 in the age where like feuds would have 5 to 7 matches seemingly. I don't think it needs that many, but I even wonder if like I don't know. Like, I'm just feeling very inspired today. I think I'm just running off the pure giddiness of going through winning his tournament. But like, I even wonder if you can make this personal enough where you could do Liv and Rhea inside Hell in a Cell or something. Because like they both injured each other at one point. Liv took the title. She seemingly took Dom. It just feels really personal. And I wouldn't want it to just end at Clash in like a wrestling match where Rhea gets like the pop or whatever. I really would want this to get like a big time step. Last woman standing, I quit, Hell in a Cell, something like that. So yeah, I am excited about a Liv Rhea program for sure. I still think ultimately I prefer Liv as a babyface. I know it's funny that this run has made people question how they feel about Liv. I still like her on the whole, but I definitely think I prefer her as a babyface. But she hasn't been doing bad here by any means. And so yeah, I'm very curious what'll happen. And Superior Paul with another honestly great question, even though it hurts. How soon before Nia versus Charlotte, Queen versus Queen? I do think that I've been thinking about Charlotte more lately and like when she'll be back. Have you given any thought to that, or have you been suppressing it?
I've been suppressing it for sure.
Don't really blame you there, friend.
You know what though?
Uh,
That would be. I feel like Charlotte as Money in the Bank winner would make just as much sense as Tiffany Stratton. Unfortunately,
yeah, yeah. You know what? Because Charlotte's never won Money in the Bank, right?
I
So
don't think
like,
so. No, I don't think so.
yeah. So then they could be like, oh look, she's done it all. Hooray. And I'm
This
just
was the
like,
last major accomplishment that Charlotte Flair did not have, and now she did it. She's finished.
but did we
I'm in
really
pain.
did we really need to do that, guys? Did we really
I mean,
need
do you
to
want to
give
go
her
ask
that?
her if we needed to do it? Because I'm pretty sure she'd tell you yes.
You're right. Okay.
Also, I
All
want to
right.
correct myself and apologize for getting people's hopes up. Um, so the quote that I'm seeing is that um, Rhea's injury takes 4 to 6 weeks to regain mobility and up to 3 months after that to return to action. So that's my fault. I apologize.
See, I thought it was more serious. I was shocked when you said 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, so here's the
Uh,
thing, though. If you think about it, it was April 15th that she announced her injury. Let me look and see. Rhea Ripley surgery. When did she get her surgery done? Does it say? I'm not seeing anything about her getting surgery. Do you remember a report about her getting surgery?
no, no, I personally don't.
See, that's interesting because if she would have undergone surgery, we could have said, okay, well, let's just add 4 months to that. But if she never did surgery, I almost have to wonder if she's gonna like try and like rehab it and like do like more of like a holistic recovery without getting surgery and see if that's possible. But I don't know.
Yeah. Hmm, that would be interesting, but I guess we'll have to see what she does.
Yeah, I don't know. Based on the report of 4 to 6 weeks plus 3 months, though, I am going to put um, Clash of the Castle and Money in the Bank appearances out of my mind completely, and even I think like SummerSlam seems like a stretch.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just kind of assume that's not happening. So let's I mean, I feel like we've talked about just about everything at this point. We've talked about King and Queen of the Ring. We've talked about the rest of the show today pretty much. We've talked about Money in the Bank. I mean, we've even brought up fucking Charlotte. We've talked about SummerSlam. What else can we talk about here, man? Do we want to do like a quick NXT review and then get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, cause like, NXT emphasis on quick, bro. Cause I don't really think much noteworthy happened. You even told me, quote, cause you know that I missed it. You're like, you picked a good night to miss this because it was pretty much another bro. I mean, they're pushing Gallus. Come
It's
on now.
gross. It really
Like
is. Yeah. And there were two North American Championship or Women's North American Championship qualifying matches, but neither one of them really inspired. Jada Parker won against Brindley Reese. That was the better match of the two, I think. Actually, no, you know what? I can't even say that because I missed the first match. The first match was Fallon Henley beating Thea Hale. And I didn't get to see that. I actually tuned in the last second or two of that, last few minutes of that. So I can't even like make a claim about it. Um, but yeah, Fallon and Jada advanced. So that's the we have two left in the field, and I believe next week's matches look a lot more fun.
yeah, next week's matches are.
I don't remember, but I just remember being excited about them.
Fair enough. I will say that I'm not surprised Fallon qualified. I am surprised she qualified at Thea's expense because I've been saying for a while, and I went back to kind of being on that track when I knew that Lola Vice wasn't going to be in this.
Oh,
That
I
I
remember
really thought.
these matches by the way. When you're done,
Oh, okay. That I really thought Thea was just going to win it and be the inaugural champion just to bring it all full circle, her relationship with Andre Chase and stuff. But no, Thea's just not going to be in it. So I will say I am surprised by that. But go ahead, sir. What are the two matches?
so one is Michin versus Tatum Paxley. That should slap. And then the other one is Kalani Jordan versus Ren Sinclair, and that's interesting too.
See, now the Michin versus Tatum matchup that surprised me because again, it's a very similar to the or the Thea situation where I just thought Tatum would be in it, but now I'm not so sure because you might want a veteran like Michin in it just to really give that ladder
Call
match,
the
that boost
shots.
of credibility.
Yeah.
You know. Um. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Going to be very very interesting.
Yeah, it was a pretty uneventful NXT. I feel like there was a segment with Trick and the metaphor, but that was a bit of a weird one. Um, it was a lot of kind of the same that we've been getting, where like Oro and Jakara are being accusatory towards Trick, and Lash is standing up for him and stuff like that. But then, of course, fucking Joe Coffee shows up, and we get Gallus bullshit, and that ruins everything. It's like, yeah, Gallus really ruined a lot of this episode of NXT. The main event was Shayna and Lola versus Natalia and Carmen. And earlier on in the night, there was a backstage segment where Shayna told Lola, "Hey, like, cut the shit with the dancing." And then Lola was like, "Oh, when that bell rings, I'm serious business, but I'm a Latina, so I want to have fun too." And like during the match, Lola was getting ready to do a submission to I think Carmen, and she started dancing, and that ultimately led to her defeat. She got pinned. I think it was actually by Carmen, and it was because of a fucking heart attack. Like Natalia held her up in the position, and Carmen threw the lariat, I think, and yeah, she got pinned. And then afterwards, Shayna was being all like actually sympathetic and actually like decent towards her and like helped her up. And Lola kicked her in the fucking head. So
Yeah, I was
yeah,
happy to see Shayna grab her and like try and choke her out. Because yeah, like, but you know what? Maybe that shows that what Lola's doing is working. I will say this about the Lola character: it is very committed to being a heel. Not even trying
yes,
to walk the line of like, oh, I like this person, I just dislike everybody else or whatever. No, she's just awful to everyone, even people that have genuinely helped her, and then that's a heel. So I have to give the writing at the very least credit for that, and her execution. You know what? It gets under my skin. So I need to start differentiating. Like, do I not like them because they're not good? Or just, they're getting that heat with me. And I think in her case, she's solid enough. I mean, I've certainly seen far worse women's wrestlers. And so, yeah, I think it's just her getting that heat with me, which, job well done.
Yeah.
But we know Shayna wants to do NXT Underground with her, which should be very
Yes.
interesting.
I
Yeah.
believe that's this coming week.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be good.
So yeah, that should be
Um,
fun. And then the only other thing I think that was notable. Oh, Dante Chen did return. That was really cool as Mr. Stone's new client, and he beat Lexus King in a fun match. Well, I can't say the match was fun, but the finish was fun.
yeah.
Dante Chen is fun. Lexus King is the worst.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing though that I was gonna say before I noticed that that was notable was that we had the triple threat for North American Contendership or for NXT North American Championship Contendership. Glad that I could get my words straight there. Um, it was Wesley, Joe Coffey, Ew, and Josh Briggs. And Wes and Joe pinned Briggs at the same time. And so they're going to be triple threat again for the North American title against Oba.
Oh God. I hope. Well, I think Oba just pins Joe Coffey, but I already told you in conversation when we kind of broke down NXT while we were gaming together, like you just did a phenomenal fucking triple threat with Oba, Dijak, and Briggs. Because I'll give Briggs credit. You know, he did his part in that. And now you're doing another triple threat with him. And I love Wes, and I respect the fuck out of him for coming back from what he came back from, and he hasn't lost a step. But like Joe Coffey, though,
He drags the whole
really,
match down, man. He drags
he
the whole
he
match down.
he really does. Like, and I appreciate, you know, NXT being like, no, we know the masterpiece that's gonna be Wesley versus Oba. We're just gonna, you know, just stretch that out a little bit. I even wonder if that match is gonna be, but see, that's still too far away. I was gonna say, I wonder if it's gonna be the NXT PLE equivalent of SummerSlam, so that you kind of have a super
Heat
card with both
Wave.
NXT and the roster. Yeah, Heat Wave.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
I
soon though. That's not in August. That's like coming up, like very soon.
Well, then, yeah, I would, I guess, just pencil this for Heat Wave. But I'm like, did we really need to use
Oh,
Gallus to like get there? You know?
no, they're doing Battleground in like 2 weeks though.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
but
June
that's good.
9th.
Yeah, okay, okay,
That's when we're gonna get Shayna and Lola in the underground thing, I think.
right, okay, okay. But yeah, I guess the only other thing I would say is that I feel like I owe Rich Holland kind of an apology because him taking out Gallus is the most babyface thing he ever did. Because I realized just how much I did not miss them on
Yeah,
television.
true.
Like you
Also,
know,
Heatwave is 4 weeks after Battleground.
okay.
So anyway, yeah. So thank you, Ridge, and maybe do it again.
Yeah, somebody give Ridge a chair so that we can see a sequel and maybe for longer this time. Um, so yeah, I think that's it. So let's open up the forum for questions because I think questions would be more interesting this week because yeah, it was pretty much a paper thin week. But I don't know if you guys want to talk more about the tournament or whatever. So please, any questions you have about this week in the world of wrestling, fire off.
Well, that's silence.
Indeed. May just move on already to high spots and low shots. All right. Low shot. You know what? Low shot gonna be Becky.
That
Because
makes sense.
she lost the title. Actually, Javaris did ask a question. We'll answer
Thoughts
this
about
one question.
Gold and Julia's injury? Yeah, that's. I mean, it sucks that Julia got hurt. Hopefully, it's not going to last very long. I know she has a wrist problem. I don't know if it's broken or I think they said it was fractured. I don't know if there's much of a difference though. Hopefully that she's able to recover that from that sooner than later though, because apparently they wanted to start using her in NXT as early as ding 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 Heat Wave at the beginning of July. So
Yeah, yeah. Um, and yeah, Javaris, I mean, we're loving Monday Gold. We're actually going to be going live tonight at 11 p.m. to
yep.
react as it's happening to their next show. So should be very interesting. We actually talked a lot about Monday Gold, Javaris, in our latest Stardom reactions. If you want to go and listen to that, I really just said as far as performers, Miku Ano really stood out to me. Koki, I feel like Ashton didn't overhype her at all. She's fantastic. Matsui also was a
Mista,
lot of
yeah.
fun. Yeah, yeah. So there are a lot of talented women on there, Javars. I'm excited about the future of the promotion. And yeah, injuries always suck, but Julia's fantastic. And like you, I heard that it wasn't too bad. So hopefully she'll be back in the mix soon. Because I'm, dude, I don't know how much longer the universe is going to keep denying us or putting off that Julia Utami matchup, but I need it in my fucking life.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Sari, I will say this about Sari. It really seems like they're positioning her as like a top heel in the company, which is exciting as fuck to me because I'm like, Yeah, I like that. I like that we're doing like an overt heel that really feels like she's better than the entire roster and that she's carrying Monty Gold. And then you pretty much make everybody at least somewhat babyface by comparison that stands up to her. So yeah. And then Foster will answer your question, and then I think we'll just resume high spots, low shots, since I was already kind of getting into that groove. What are your thoughts on the Profits probably getting another touchdown? To me, Foster, it's funny with the Profits because
Oh shit, dude, I have got to go take care of something. I will be back as soon as I can. It won't be more than like 2, 3 minutes.
bro, that's fine. That's fine. What's funny to me, Foster, and yeah, Javaris, I will just say before I go back to answering Foster's question, I do agree with you. I think she really did want to do that show. And, it still sucks that Hana's gone. Like, even just us talking about a Hana tribute show, it's never not going to fuck with me. But yeah, Foster, to really focus in on your question, I don't know about you, bro, and you know that I never want to hurt you because I love you and you're perfect. But to me, it just feels like the Profits are kind of circling the drain at this point. Like I really, if you would have told me that this would have been their tag team run on the main roster when I really expected them to be as gangbusters as the New Day at one point, I would have been shocked. I really would have been shocked because they have a lot of charisma. They are a very fun team, but they just feel kind of stagnant. And then I was excited. I honestly was excited for them to be heels with Bobby Lashley, but I feel like they as a unit really didn't stay heels for very long. Now they just seem like a babyface faction, which, hey, I'm all for Black Excellence being babyfaces. We really shouldn't villainize Black Excellence. But then again, if you're going to make them heels, right, you can make them those cool heels that dress nice, that carry themselves with fucking pride because they are the pride. And like, I don't know, the faction just really hasn't seemed to do anything for their careers. Um, and yeah, like I'm with you, Foster. Like, I really don't know if a tag title run could revitalize them. I just feel like at this point, and maybe it's just me, Foster, and you have to remember that I am an asshole and my opinion really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. But I just feel like I'm checked out with them and I'm waiting for really either one of their singles careers because I might even be sleeping on Angelo Dawkins, to be perfectly truthful with you. But you know that I've seen Montez Ford as like top heel potential for a long time, and I'm still waiting for him and Bianca to go on that run together, which who even knows if that's even going to happen, like ever. Uh, so yeah, Profits are in a very, very strange place for me. I don't know. I like them. I think that they both have a lot to offer. I just don't know if they have a lot to offer anymore as a tag team. And dude, you're talking to the same guy about the same company that I've been waiting for Ashanti and Cedric to debut. Like, and Ashanti and Cedric, they had this cool idea where they couldn't be any more different, but they fucking sizzle in the ring, right? Haven't seen them. I don't even think we've been seeing vignettes now. When are they going to get released? Like, that's just where my mind goes. I'm very pessimistic about black wrestlers in the tag division specifically, and it really, really sucks. Um, it also doesn't really give me hope for Tyson and Tyreek, right? In NXT. I know Tyreek is one of them. I don't know if Tyson's the other one. I hope I got that name right. But yeah, Foster, I'm glad you asked that question because it really did make me think about black undercarders in the WWE and things could be a bit better. In fact, even with New Day, like I know they're boys and everything, and Foster, I'm not trying to say that they should turn heel, but really I go back to why haven't they been doing more single stuff with them? Kofi got wildly over as WWE champion. Big E, obviously a success. Like it's kind of sour to me how Xavier has gotten shafted. And I know this didn't have anything to do with your original question, so I apologize for going on a side tangent. But yeah, like Xavier, he's so excited that like, oh, the winner of the King and Queen of the Ring are getting title shots because oh, it puts respect on the tournament's name. Why aren't you more pissed? Because that happened after you won the crown and then you didn't even get to place for it because Gunther took you out. See, that is another feud I would like, Foster. That is another feud I would like. I would love. And then Javaris, I did see your question. I don't want you to feel like I'm neglecting. I'm just really in the stream of consciousness right now, so I want to finish it. I would love. You want to talk about feuds? I would love Gunther versus Xavier for the world title. I would absolutely fucking love that because we need to give Xavier a chance to show that babyface fire and to get this platform to contend for a top title. I think honestly, and I'm just going to be very candid about it. I think it's bullshit that he hasn't gotten that chance. Biggie got that chance. He killed it because, of course, he did because he's immensely talented.
Hey, bud,
Kofi
told you I wouldn't be
finally got
long.
that chance. Welcome back. Yeah, we're having kind of a side discussion because off of Foster's question of Street Profits and tag title shot. And then I've just been talking about black undercarders in WWE. And I just got done saying, we were talking about Gunther and just the world title. If Gunther wins the world title, I would love a Gunther versus Xavier feud because in kayfabe, Gunther took out Xavier so that he couldn't even place in the King of the Ring
Yeah,
because the match they had wasn't even a King of the Ring like qualifying
he
match.
fucked him.
Yeah, he fucked him. And Xavier is a former king of the ring, but he didn't win the tournament when they were handing out title shots, so he could have a chip on his shoulder about it. So yeah, but to circle back, and then I want you to answer Foster's question, and then I do want to address Javaris's question because I'm looking right at it. Well, how are you feeling about the Profits getting another title shot? Because what I essentially said and kind of the diatribe I went on while you were gone is I feel like they've hit a rut. They're kind of in stagnation for me. And I don't even know if a tag title run could revitalize them. I think I'm just ready for singles runs for both of them. How do you feel about the Street Profits right now?
Yeah, dude, honestly, it's weird because part of me feels like they've been stagnated ever since Lashley kind of disowned them almost. Like, there was this weird
Yeah.
moment where Lashley kind of publicly disowned them on WWE television, and ever since then, it's kind of put them in this position where they almost feel like his, like, almost like his kids in a weird way. It's
Yeah.
strange. It's like they almost have to like build Lashley up as a babyface and then have the Profits betray him and beat the shit out of him together and have them go on a strong tag team heel run. Because whatever the fuck they're doing with him and them together is not working at all, at least in my mind.
No, no, I not just in your mind, because again, when you were gone, I pretty much talked all about that. I thought that the Pride would have been really cool for them, and I even said at the beginning, like I wanted them to really commit to a heel run, but I don't even think they lasted as heels that long
No,
before the Final Testament was coming in and doing their stuff with them. And don't even get me started on that because that is so far removed from the question, and
I
I
would
hate carrying
never.
cross. Thank you. And really, I'm just saying that for myself because I know I'm the bad one between the two of us about that kind of shit. So now to Javaris's question. Do you think eventually Julia versus Utami, the match that they'll have will be for the Marty Gold World title? I could see that. What's funny is I don't think it needs the world title, Javaris, but I think like Rossi's like, no, no, let's throw everything at this. I could absolutely see it being for the world title. 1000%. Do I think it will be? Uh, we'll see. We'll see. I'm really curious when they're going to crown new champions and how they're going to crown them. Do you have any thoughts, bro, just about Julia Utami, when it'll take place,
You know,
what it'll be for?
for the longest time, I thought that Julia would be the first Money Gold champion and that she would drop it to Utami in their first match. But now I'm starting to think Julia's just never going to hold that title, and the first Money Gold champion is going to be Sari.
Yeah, imagine the heat. Fuck.
That's
Yeah, I'm not
legit. Like,
opposed
I
to it.
genuinely think that they might do Julia versus Sari for the Money Gold championship, and as a swerve, have Sari go over.
Dude, that would be fucking
I
crazy.
mean, I'd be rooting for Julia because it would obviously, in my mind at least, lead to the inevitable meetup between Julia and Utami that we've all been begging for years at this point. But I feel like they would swerve us and have Sari actually win.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I can see it. I can honestly see all of that.
So if, and
Absolutely.
I actually am at the point now that I am saying if we do get Julia Utami at all, I'm starting to wean on my expectation that it would even be for a title.
Yeah. I again, I think I agree with you on all counts. I
Maybe
don't really.
contendership.
Yeah. Yeah, like at most contender. Yeah, yeah, I could see all that, man. I really do because I'm liking what they're doing with Sally. I think this is the most interested I've ever been in her. Period. Knowing that, like, oh my god, she's the villain.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, let's do it.
Also, did you
Javaris,
see earlier that Alex Foster said that he may request Heatwave for his birthday for live reactions?
I did, and I just want to say, Foster, if you want to do that, that's entirely your prerogative. We'd love you, and yeah, we'd be happy to do that because you should absolutely have the funds. I think you rarely request shit, so yeah. Um, So yeah, I'm all for that. Javaris's last question: do you think Rossi and WWE can have a working relationship? I think they already do, Javaris,
Same.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think when you hear Rossi, because I know Javaris, you were in the Discord when we were kind of talking about the Rossi Omega beef, which I'm not even gonna begin to unpack that here. You guys can join the Discord if you're not a part of it to see what we're talking about there. But yeah, I think Rossi is on good terms with Triple H. I am gonna be honest though. I worry for Rossi a little bit. This is still pro wrestling, and pro wrestling is a cutthroat fucking business. I hope Triple H never does him dirty. I hope we're not seeing like any underhanded poaching or whatever. And I'd like Rossi to cool it as well on the poaching. Let's all maybe just try and be more ethical. I don't know. It's capitalism. It's impossible. But I do worry that Rossi could get bitten in this relationship potentially. But maybe that's just my paranoia talking. But yeah, it is interesting to know we live in a world where Rossi and Triple H are working together. Because Javaris, I don't even know if you were here. I even forget the context that this conversation happened. But Ashton and I think during the first Marty Gold show, when we got around to reacting to it, Marty Gold Fields Forever, we were talking about, just the prospect of getting Io versus Utami, or, Julia still working Marty Gold shows while in NXT, so you could still do other matches with her. Like, yeah. Or even if Triple H really wanted to give a talent either as a reward or just as training, more polish or just a different kind of experience, sending them over. Imagine Bailey and Marty Gold, for fuck's sake. Like, that just sounds insane. But honestly, wrestling has shown me time and again, don't say impossible unless they're either dead or it's just so bitter that it's like an on-site thing, like I see you, I kill you kind of thing. I yeah, I think so much is possible for Mighty Gold, especially with Triple H kind of in this dynamic with Rossi. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. What do you think, Ashton? Do you have any further thoughts about Triple H and Rossi and what their dynamic could entail?
Not on Triple H and Rossi, like specifically, but I think that it's almost necessary that they already have some kind of working relationship because Julia is in Mighty Gold, even though she's under WWE contract right now. And it seems pretty likely that she's going to be working both NXT and Mighty Gold at the same time for at least a little bit. Like, even if it's just like 2 or 3 months, that seems pretty likely to happen. Starting, I've heard, as early as July. So I feel like it's almost necessary that they are already working together. I mean,
Yeah.
Rossi
Yeah.
was literally at the Hall of Fame in WrestleMania with Julia. Like, yeah, there's something going on there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And you know what? Honestly, even though again I have my paranoia, good for Rossi at the same time, because honestly, AEW be on some fuck shit with how, like, Tony was openly reveling in Rossi getting fired and shit. And so, you know what? Yeah, yeah. You know what? Go with them. Stick it to AEW. I really don't give a fuck, and really mainly stick it to Tony Khan. I don't really like taking it on the workers. Everybody's just trying to earn a living, but your fucking boss is an immature fucking teenager.
Yeah.
So I really don't know, what to say beyond that. Yeah, I think that about makes it good. I have nothing else to say. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah, no, I have literally nothing to say about AEW this week. I don't think I watched any of their shows at all.
I am so proud of you. I know it's a weird thing to be proud of somebody for, like, not doing something, but like, I
I
don't know.
actually posted in wrestling discussion, I posted the card for Dynamite on Wednesday, and Javaris and I were both just like, no, no, we're not doing this. Fuck that. I'm good.
Hard pass. But
Yeah,
yeah,
here we go. Here it is. I found it. I posted it and I said literally the only thing on this show that looks even remotely interesting to me is Kyle O'Reilly versus Malachi Black, and I'm willing to miss that if it means I don't have to watch the rest of this garbage. And then Javaris was like, "This show looks absolute ass," and I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna have me." I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna have some me time in these 2 hours,"
yeah, yeah,
and I did.
absolutely.
I did. I had a really good Wednesday night. It was fantastic.
You know what? You deserve it, King. That's what I
Thanks,
love to
bud.
hear. Now I apologize for this because I know I already said it, but because we actually spent extended time on questions, I just want to run back high spots, low shots, and just reiterate everything just so we have a nice clean reset. So high spots and low shots. I did make my low shot Becky because she lost the title, and it wasn't even because of her own lack of ability, but because of a guy that she didn't even want involved in her match getting involved. So rough night for her, and now Liv is going to be crowing about being the champion all the way to next Monday until Becky might try and like shut her up again. I don't know. But yeah, it was a rough night for the man. Becky's my low shot. What about you, bro?
My low shot is going to be um I am going to say Randy Orton because he got fucked up by the bloodline last night And
Yes.
now on this show, he lost without losing. Like that's got to fuck you up mentally because like not only did you lose in the sense that like the ref counted to three and the referee's decision is final and that can't get removed or reversed, but like now you're hurt and you're not going to be able to immediately come back and try and prove that the decision was wrong right away. You've got to heal. So like Orton is both insulted and injured at the same time. So yeah, it's been a rough couple of days for Orton.
Yeah, and just piggybacking right off of that, high spot Gunther, always Gunther. I am so fucking happy this dude is King of the Ring. Because let me tell you something, guys. We've all been watching wrestling for years, and of course, this is just my opinion at the end of the day. But if you want to talk about pushing somebody strong that consistently proves they deserve it, it's this fucking dude. I have never seen this dude disappoint anyone. He's never disappointed me yet. The only thing I've ever been disappointed by is things happening to him, like tapping out to Ilya Dragunov, for instance. But him as a performer, God, I'm so happy for him. I really hope he's not a piece of shit because I really look at Gunther and I am so happy for that dude. I mean, he's married to Ginny, who apparently was like fucking smitten with. So, like, he's winning there. I don't know if he's going to be a father because I thought she was pregnant at one point. So, like, amazing. Didn't really think he would work well in America. Was like, oh, I'm content just being a European sensation. Is owning America to the point of being a legitimate draw. I hope that that's still true. And yeah, like, he just so happy for him. So happy for him. And honestly, yeah, I'll be rooting for him again at SummerSlam to win the fucking world title because you can't tell me that that dude with the world title around his waist wouldn't be the Bruno Sammartino of our fucking generation. I mean, this dude is as good as it fucking gets. And if you're like one of those old school diehards where it's like, man, it was better in the territories, enjoy your fucking renaissance, grandpa, because Gunther does it all. So yeah, King of the Ring, future world champion. Have fun chortling his balls, everyone else. And that's yeah, that's my high spot. So I'm sorry, I blacked out because of my own marking out. Did you give a high spot, or do you have a high spot to give?
My high spot is really easy. It's Liv Morgan because not only did she win the Raw Women's Championship today, but to double down, the woman who won Queen of the Ring isn't on her brand, so she doesn't gotta worry about that shit.
That's so true. And I mean, let's be real. Like Liv was the last one to beat Nia before she won Queen of the Ring. So
That is
like,
also true, but it
yeah,
doesn't matter
Liv
because
beats.
he's not on her brand.
Yeah, exactly. Liv is just flexing on everybody, bro. So yeah, that is
Liv
our in
Liv
review.
got
Man,
the
look how
title. Liv got the title. Liv got the freedom of mind to not have to worry about an immediate massive challenger in the way of Nia Jax. Liv's getting the guy in the form of Dom or Finn, whoever she wants. Liv is just living the high life right now. And like as long as Rhea isn't around to come back and rain on her parade, she's gonna continue living that high life.
absolutely, bro. And again, Liv's kind of in a weird spot with a lot of people, and I definitely have my preferences, but she's a world champion again. Let's see how this reign goes.
Yeah. I mean, I know
Um,
she doesn't actively use this as a catchphrase, but it is all of her social media handles. You only live once, and her one life is going pretty fucking well, I'd say.
yeah, you know what? And that's the tagline we end the show with. All right, guys. Like the video, you should file out, subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And if you're a Marty Gold fan or you're curious what all the buzz is about, which you should be because it's fantastic, we will be reacting to their show live as it happens tonight at 11 p.m. They're even doing nice start times for us American fans. Look at how much consideration they're showing us. Meanwhile, Stardom's like, no, we're not even subbing shit anymore. Fuck you. So thank you, Monty Gold, because that's immensely considerate of you, and we love you, and I love you, Tommy, and go and do everything. So yes, Monty Gold live right into the show when it happens, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Be there. And yeah, that's it for our week. We're off Sunday. So, and if you just like our catch ups because you're like, man, I don't want to watch wrestling. I just want to hear like a nice succinct summation of it. Well, then we'll be back here 10:30 next Saturday for in review because I don't think anything should be going on to kind of change the time there. And so, yeah, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be good to yourselves and each other. Tune in and peace out.